I think this is going to be the hardest TBR video I've ever done, and only because making this TBR was the hardest thing I've ever done. And not for the reasons you may think. Welcome to Wonderland. It's Ari here, and today I'm sharing with you guys my Prideathon TBR. Prideathon is right around the corner, and I am so excited and happy to be participating in it this year. And also, I am a co-host for Prideathon, so this will be my first time hosting Prideathon. I'm excited. Yes! For those of you who don't know what Prideathon is, you've probably been living under a rock, but that is okay. That is perfectly okay. I'm just kidding. But Prideathon is a biannual readathon and also monthly book club that I host with 3 other amazing people, where we read and promote LGBTQIAP+ intersectional books and queer lit, basically. We have a book club book pick every month, but except for in April and September, because that's when we host the readathons. And even though we host the readathons, we do have a group book for the readathon. So we have different reading challenges for the entire readathon. It takes place April 2nd through April 8th of 2018 this year. And we have some amazing challenges. And I'm just going to share with you guys books that I could possibly read during these challenges. Now, full disclaimer, during the readathon is also spring break from my little brother. So my mom and I were surprising him by taking him to Disney World. He has no idea that we're going. He doesn't even know when we're leaving. But since he'll be on spring break during this time, we're going to take him to Disney World. So we'll be out of town for most of the readathon. And because of that, picking my TBR was very, very, very hard because I am going to be with my mother most of the time. And as most of you all know, my family has no idea that I am queer in any way. So all the queer shirts will be staying at home, and all my books have to be under the gaydar. Like, when she looks at me and asks me what I'm reading, she will have no idea that it has gay characters in it or a gay storyline or anything like that. So a good number of my books are on my e-reader, so that'll be good for, traveling and all that. But any physical books that I take with me, they'll have to be under the gaydar. And out of all my LGBT books, I have narrowed it down to like maybe 10 options. So let's just get into it and stop it with the long intro. As I'm pulling up the challenges on my phone, because we did tweet them all out in the nice little thread, and we also have the Prideathon account, which I could just pull up and whatever on my phone. But while I'm pulling it up, another nice little disclaimer: I do not have to read the challenge verbatim, meaning word for word, because I do not want to have to keep saying LGBTQIAP+ over and over again. So, and it's Prideathon, so you should basically understand that all the books are LGBTQIAP+. So I don't have to keep saying it. All right. And the group book for this, I'm actually going to show you real quick as well. Our group book is All Out by Sandra Mitchell. It's a collection of short stories or stories with queer main characters written by queer authors, and they all take place in different time periods in history. Jesus, why can't I talk properly? But it's a historical fiction short story anthology, and this is our group book, and I'm so excited to be reading it. Some of my favorite authors have contributed to this book, and so I'm excited. So I just wanted to show that off real quick. And the group book actually applies to, I think, about 5 of the challenges that we have. So yeah, there's no excuse not to read this book. All right, challenge number 1: read a book with a person of color main character. You see, I was about to say LGBT, like QIAP+. I was not going to do that. Nah. In the Prideathon thread, we also gave recommendations, so you could go check those recommendations out. I don't want to have to read all of them, so I will just link our Prideathon Twitter account down below. So you can read the thread and see all the recommendations that we suggested. One recommendation, the author confirmed that the character is straight. Someone told us that the character was bisexual, but the author told us that the character was straight. So we retracted that recommendation, so ignore it. But all other ones still stand. They were confirmed, okay? So challenge 1, person of color main character. Now, I kind of have a couple of options for this, to be honest. Yep, I have a couple of options. So Both of them are by the same author. But When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore and Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. Because I would love to reread When the Moon Was Ours, but at the same time, I have not read Wild Beauty yet. And the main character are Latina, so person of color. So any of these books can work for that challenge. I'm just saying. All right. Challenge number 2, read an own voices book with a main character with mental health representation. A lot of my mental health rep books don't feature a lot of LGBT main characters, and the few that I have that do, I wrapped up. If you saw my wrapped TBR video, you know that I wrapped most of the books in my TBR. So I did not want to go fishing for those books and tearing up paper trying to find the ones I want to read. So I have another reread for this one, and that is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Own voices, because Adam Silvera himself is gay. The main character is gay, and there is mental health representation, trigger warning for depression, and I think suicide is what we said. Yeah, suicide and depression. So, yeah, we put trigger warnings on all the books we suggest if they have any. So yeah. Challenge number 3 is read an indie published or self-published book. And for this one, I'm going to go with Knit One Girl 2 by Shira Glossman. I hope that's how you pronounce the author's name. It's a cute little story with a female-female romance, and the main character is Jewish, so that's pretty cool. And it's such a cute little short story, and it's on my e-reader. I had it for a long time. I just never read it yet because I don't read on my e-reader that much, but since I'll be going out of town, perfect opportunity. So I'm going to read this cute little story, and it just seems so cute. I mean, it even has a cat on the cover. Oh my god! There are a bunch of other books that we suggested for this, and you can find plenty on like Amazon, or if you have a Kindle, or if on your, what's that, a Nook, if you have like a Barnes & Noble Nook e-reader, whatever called. So I think that works as well. I put my thing down weird. That's so weird. Okay. The next challenge is read a popular book with a character that you've seen online but haven't read yet. So basically read a LGBT book that you've seen a lot online but haven't read yet. And I have a lot of options for this one as well. One of them also would include Wild Beauty, so I could use this book for that challenge as well because I see this everywhere and I am like the last person on earth to read it. I read When the Moon Was Ours, but I haven't read this book yet, which is sad. Another book that could count for this is Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh, which has a bisexual main character. This one can count. Another one that can count is White Rabbit by Caleb Roerg. And I was actually fortunate enough to get an ARC of this book. It's not even out yet. It comes out later in April. It comes out April 24th. So I see a lot of people hyping this book, but I haven't read it yet. I probably should. And it's kind of under the radar. Kind of under the radar. You wouldn't know that by looking at the cover. My mom wouldn't know that by looking at the cover, but if she read the back of the book, she'll figure it out. So maybe. And then, of course, another book that's not necessarily under the radar, but I could read for this challenge if I choose to and just take the dust jacket off. The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchison. Another book that I was looking forward to reading, but I haven't gotten to yet. So sadly, no. We can read this one. And another book, which is another galley that I was fortunate enough to have a copy of that I got through NetGalley. NetGalley is amazing. I thank NetGalley for any galleys that I get, and they send them to my e-reader. But another one would be Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I have Daughter of the Running City right here, which is a reread that I was probably going to use for another challenge. But Ace of Shades can count for that challenge as well. But here's Amanda Foody's first book, Daughter of the Running City. Both of her books have bisexual main characters, so I can read that book as well. All right, the next book is read a book with a LGBT main character who comes from a culture different than yours. Again, Anna Marie McLemore books count for this challenge for me. Because of the fact that, again, Latina characters, I am not Latina. And another book, the book that I actually suggested in our list of suggestions that I recommend to people if you plan to do Prideathon is The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angela Sermelis. I hope I'm saying his name right as well. But this is a pretty good book. Ignore my tabs. Ignore my tabs. But this is a pretty good book as well. And the main character is drawing a mind blank on here. Greek. Thank you. Like, the main character is Greek, so that is a perfect book for you guys if you're like me, because any book without a black main character, your culture is different from me. So yeah, so I suggest that. I've already read it and I've loved it, so that could be a reread. But again, any of Anna Marie's books apply for this challenge. And then the next challenge is read a fantasy or sci-fi book, of course, with the LGBT main character, and that's why I had Daughter of the Burning City, just in case. Again, Ace of Shades can count for this challenge, and I believe, yep, Reign of the Fallen can also count for this challenge. I'm looking around to see if any other books count for this challenge, but nah. Again, I was trying to be very conscious with my book selections. And then finally, the last challenge is read a book released in 2018. And so I have this book that comes out soon. It comes out in June of 2018. Again, another arc. It's Sometime After Midnight by L. Phillips. This is a Cinderella story, but it's a gay Cinderella story. It's two dudes. Look at this. You see that? It's so cute. It's so cute. And y'all know I'm not a huge fan of Cinderella stories, but when they're done with gay characters, I have to read them. The only Cinderella story that I really liked actually was Cinder, and no gay characters at all. But I have this one for this challenge. And of course, White Rabbit could appear for this challenge. Ace of Shades can go for this challenge. Reign of the Fallen could go for this challenge. The Dangerous Art of Blending In can go for this challenge. And of course, our group book, All Out, can go for this challenge. And then, yes, Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza can go for this challenge. Yes, I know this TBR is not definite, but any of these books will do. And all of my hardcover ones, if I could just take off the dust jacket and only bring the book itself, my mother would never know. The paperback book ones, like these arcs, I'm going to have to be conscious about. I'm going to have to be very, very conscious about because, yeah, you get the gist. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are participating in Prideathon this year. Leave a comment down below with any books that you are reading for Prideathon, or any LGBT books that you would like to read, or anything like that. If you want to follow any of my fellow hosts, I will leave all their accounts linked down below, including Cobb, who is a fellow booktuber. Their channel is awesome and amazing, so go and subscribe to them as well. If you want to get notified when I post new videos, you can subscribe to me and follow me on all my social media accounts. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to keep calm and keep reading. 7 days, so many LGBT books. I can do it. I can do it.